we're in the hospitality industry, and hospitality is all about meeting, greeting your customers, speaking to your customers. Difficult to do that today. When, you've got shields at the cashier, you've got 6 foot separation or 2 meters separation. How do you do that? How do you engage with your customers?
This is Jay. This is our Vice President of Operations, Martin Barron. You're joining us with Dana's Culinary Insights. Thank you for joining us.
Well, great to be here, Jay. Thank you.
Restaurants Canada just did a survey, and I'm going to read you some of the results here, right? So, among respondents whose operations are either open for takeout or delivery only, or already offering dine-in services under new restrictions, 6 out of 10 said they are operating at a loss. 22% of single unit operators and 15% of multi-unit operators said they are just breaking even. So, Martin, obviously a very, very long road. We're a multi-unit operator with over 100 locations across the country in Canada. What was that like to have to transition?
Well, initially it was very difficult. The key factors we wanted to take into play was making sure our customers were safe and our employees were safe, and that our supply chain was safe. So the food that we were getting, that was handled properly, that there were no changes to what we were doing. A bit of an advantage being such a large country is it didn't happen all at once. So it started in the West and it's made its way east. So we learned our lessons along the way. So as we moved across the country, we better understood what we had to do, the environments we were working in, to make them safe for our customers. And it was that close down that came across the country. So what we learned was communication is key. We learned that you can't communicate enough with your client and your customers and your employees to let them know what's going on, to make sure that they're comfortable. We also learned communicating with local authorities, municipal, provincial, and federal is key, because we do work across the country. There's so many different guidelines that we had to sort through and understand. And it's not a cookie cutter. There's not one solution for every one of our customers. We wanted to make sure we had the right solution for each one of our customers to ensure that the environment was safe, healthy, and enjoyable as much as it could be enjoyable for the customers to go to.
Right. And of course, lots there. So lots of learning, lots of communicating, and lots of learning on the fly. You have to be adaptable, and you preach adaptability all the time. Now, do you want to take us through some of the challenges? Because, I think when a lot of restaurants all over the country, they think about lack of foot traffic immediately as the number one problem. What are some other challenges that we're trying to navigate in this COVID era?
Well, for the hospitality industry across the board was hit very hard. Yeah. People just stopped going to restaurants. We're a little bit different in the contract food service management side of the business, because we work in factories, hospitals, universities, and different locations where it's a little different. It's not, people don't have a choice if they're going to work there as the facility. But the difference is what we had to get, all of a sudden we couldn't get anymore. So there would be a rush on personal protective equipment.
Yes.
So we had to make sure that we had a supply chain in place to make sure that we could get our hands on that for all of our facilities.
Right.
We had to make sure that we worked with our clients to make sure that cashier shields and all those things were in place. We had to modify our menus. So as much as we like and do everything from scratch, and we generally have a robust menu with large offerings, we had to look at it and we said, no, we've got to bring it back. What we want to do, we're going to do right, we're going to do fresh, we're going to do local, but we're going to do less of. So we just wanted to make sure the learning lesson is what we were going to serve was the right amount of food, that we made sure we had the right equipment to take care of it, and we were talking to our customers. One of the first things we did, and I got to think we were one of the first to do it, we surveyed all of our clients across the country and all of our customers across the country, because there's no better way to understand what your customers and clients want than asking them. And since people didn't want to talk face-to-face with us in many cases, we used electronic media, social media tools to get that information so we could really meet those customers' needs and build our offer to our customers exactly what they were looking for.
Great.
So that helped us along the way.
Sure. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the insights that we gathered from those surveys? I know our marketing department worked really hard at trying to phrase a question so that we would get very tangible results. Do you want to share some of that with the rest of restaurants in Canada?
Sure. So first of all, we didn't make it a 150 question survey.
Of course.
That's the worst thing you can do. It doesn't encourage people to take part in the survey. So we formed a working committee led by our director of marketing to really understand what we were looking for. So asking the right questions to get the response that we need, not the response we want. So that was critical in that. We felt that was important. But it was really about understanding what we felt was important and what information we did gather, understanding what the customer felt made them feel safe, what the customer told us they needed to know what we were doing in the environment, also how our employees could communicate to them in regards to what they're doing. So there's a theme here, and that's communication. So everything our customers were looking for was communication, communication, communication. How are you doing? What are you doing? When are you doing it? What are you doing to make sure we're safe? And then the feedback back and forth. So the survey really focused on how we can communicate with our customers and give feedback to make sure that they understand what we're doing and feel safe in the environment.
Okay, so Dana Hospitality focuses a lot on scratch cooking, obviously fresh ingredients, sourcing locally. Has any of that been impacted in terms of the way we operate? Has COVID and the transitions actually hindered us, or do you think it's actually helping us, or is it both?
It's both. It's helping us and hindering us. I mean, scratch fresh local is what we do. It's what differentiates us from everybody else. We do a great job with our culinary teams to deliver that to our customers. It has changed how we do it to a degree.
Okay.
Because we can't interact the way we normally interact with our suppliers. You know, we go to farms, we go to locations to choose food and look at food, and we can't do that anymore.
Right.
But we've built great relationships with a lot of our suppliers.
Huge.
So that helps, first of all. The other part which changed we're in the hospitality industry, and hospitality is all about meeting, greeting your customers, speaking to your customers. Difficult to do that today. When, you've got shields at the cashier, you've got 6 foot separation or 2 meters separation. How do you do that? How do you engage with your customers? It's difficult. But how we do it is still through communication, through social media tools, through menu boarding. But we still have to make that one-on-one connection with our customers. So our employees are still meeting or greeting customers. It just happens to be a little further away.
Sure.
One of the people I worked with went through a few of our facilities, and she said she was amazed when she met our employees because although she couldn't see all of them, she could see their smiling eyes. And I thought that was such a great comment, smiling eyes. You could really tell that our employees wanted to engage with the customers and they were there to talk to the customers. So yeah, COVID has challenged the hospitality industry, has challenged us with our fresh scratch local. Absolutely, but we've managed our way through it. Part of it, as I said earlier, is really managing what we're serving. So not a full menu. So modifying the menu, modifying how we deliver to the customers. So, unfortunately that 10-foot fresh salad bar buffet is not available, but pre-packaged, made fresh daily products are there still for our customers. So we really do offer it. It's just we offer it a little differently on how it's delivered to our customer.